作为美国公民，您可以为你的已婚成年子女和你的父母、兄弟姐妹呢申请来美国。那具体申请中需要哪些材料呢？我们为您请教一下王明武律师事务所的移民律师 Cameron 呢，来给我们做一个解答。Cameron, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
What kind of form do I need to fill out to bring my child to the United States as a U.S. citizen? And if both parents qualify, both are citizens, if either one can petition for the child, which one is it better to apply as a father or the mother?
Well, I'll go through the rules first.
Yeah.
If you're a mother and you want to petition your child, you have to have a copy of your child's birth certificate showing the name of your child.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. If you're a father petitioning your child, you have to have a copy of, same thing, child's birth certificates, but it must show both names of the parents and your marriage certificate. So technically you need more documents if you're the father of a child as opposed to the mother. In terms of whether immigration looks at one over the other with more scrutiny, they're both exactly the same. It just, if you're a father, you probably need a couple more documents than if you were the mother of a child.
So what if the child was born out of wedlock, and then now, and what if what kind of documents can you provide to prove the relationship? Do you have to go to the hospital, do a blood test, or what do you have to do?
Actually, you don't need to do a blood test, but what immigration is looking for, if it's born out of wedlock, immigration is looking for a bona fide parent-child relationship, and so far as the child is, if the child was not legitimate before reaching 18. What you're going to need examples of, for example, is examples of the father living with the child, financial support for the child, the parent's interest in child care. So you're going to need to put together a kind of a bigger package than if the father was married before at the time of having the child. Also important is that if you have a birth certificate with the father's name on it, even if it was born out of wedlock, that's what you're going to need to produce. But you're going to have to show that that father had a relationship, and it wasn't just 10 years later he comes back into the child's life just to petition for immigration benefits. Sure. That's what they're looking to avoid. And of course you have to have that blood relationship.
Yeah, to provide the support to raise the child, actually.
Absolutely, because oftentimes they're going to look at that and say, well, if the child comes over here, how do we know you're going to support them? If the child comes over here, how do you know that we're going to, you're going to be a true, father and be able to turn in an affidavit of support and all those documents.
So I think as the fourth priority, for your citizen, you can apply for your siblings.
That's correct.
And what kind of documentation do you need to provide to prove that for this kind of petition?
So for these petitions, they're very specific. You need a copy of your birth certificate and your sibling's birth certificate showing that at least one of the parents is in common. That establishes the blood relationship.
So in other words, I can apply for my half-brother if I want.
That's absolutely true. That's true. If it's the same father for a half-brother but different mothers, you'll have to have copies of the marriage certificates of every single relationship that the father has had, and also legal separation, divorce paperwork from every single relationship prior to the first one. So it is a bigger hoop to jump over, but immigration doesn't frown upon that. It's just that you have to prove that there is a relationship.
Thank you so much. Very nice to have you.
本资讯由王明武律师事务所赞助提供。